Why hello there friends, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. In front of me I have got my very first custom body project, and I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing. So I have a feeling throughout this video you're going to see a lot of me banging my head against walls trying to get something to work. But the idea here is to take this old chassis and some hot glue and find a way that we could get this body mounted on that chassis. Now, a couple things to note: the weight of this body exceeds the weight of this chassis. That could be a problem, and I don't quite know how we would solve that. I believe some wider track width, stiffer springs may do the trick, but it might be a lost cause. For now, all I want to know is if we take this and throw it on here, again, just using hot glue, it's not going to be permanent. I want to see if the body would fit in the right place, if all the wheels would flex without rubbing. All of these are just things I want to know before I look into a more permanent mounting solution. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pop this off of here and see what we can get cooking. And as I'm sure you can see, we've already taken the interior out of the van. It may go back in at some point, but I would need much smaller servos and working parts on the chassis for this to all clear. So for now, it's gonna go away. And we've just got 2 screws we've got to pop out of the back of this. One right there at a very awkward angle. I can't tell if I'm in the hole or not. I think we were in the hole, it's just a little longer than I thought. Suspicious of the hole. Boom. All right. Now we can take a look at the end idea here. As far as looks go, this is exactly what I want. Pure ridiculousness. It should not be on top of that frame, but it is, and hopefully we can get it to do some actual crawling. So next up, what I want to do is take this and possibly hot glue these 2 points right here onto the ESC. The only other option is if we flip it over, we are given an interesting conundrum where these pins fit, which would give us a lot of strength. I would just need to figure out a way for these back ones to be mounted. I don't think that's too bad of an option. Let's see what happens if we loosen this up. Is there any chance that this could flip around and fit in here? I don't think so, but I need to know. Pretty sure it's this one right here. Okay, now we've got this loose. So just taking a peek, let's get these back ones lined up again. Definitely not gonna work like that. It looks like just a straight pin right through there might work. Okay, but we could move this farther down the frame rails by that little margin right there into that hole. And that could give us what we need to use these and these. So where is it? Right there. Well, while we're just messing with stuff, I'm gonna try that. Let's move this piece down one and then see if we can get it to interact with this back pin and slide in perfectly. There we go. That's moved back. We're gonna put this pin back in here. Let's see. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's it. That is it right there. Wow. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll lock these into place. They might be just a tiny bit off left or right, but I think this might be the perfect test mount setup here. The only real problem I'm seeing here is that there's no real way to lock these straight forward. If we take a look at the holes in that, they're all at this odd sideways angle, which is great for the stock vehicle. We may just hot glue this in place. But I think this right here is going to be our best bet at having a mounting system without actually doing much work. Boom. And then this one. Boom. So it is a little bit off and there is a little play, but if we hot glued that in, oh my gosh. Now because this thing is completely hollow, I think this point is going to sit right in there. Let's go ahead and try it. Oh, I knew this might be an issue. We might need to take this dash out. I really wanted to keep it in there, but at least for this test mount, I think having this totally flush inside is going to be the move. It's coming out. It feels like this needs to come down. Oop, we're losing parts. Let's try opening the doors. Now can I pull back? Nope. And I want to keep everything in here usable, so I'm trying to be as delicate as possible. Those could be little clips. So without breaking this, I'm going to push down here, come in with the screwdriver. That didn't sound great. Oh man, that feels like too much oh! Something happened. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, we're looking like we're gonna need... Try not to mess up the windshield. Let's leave that in there. Boom. That was way more work than it needed to be. Moment of truth. Now that we've got this all off, what happens? Oh, it's close. It is close. So if you look through the windows, that bar's not actually touching anything, but we could make our own little support beams in here. That's interesting. This is a little off center up here. We're sitting off to the right a bit because the frame rails come in contact with the two struts for the hood. But because I was able to open the trunk and get that wedged in there, we now kind of have a solid platform mounted to the vehicle. This is interesting. This is very, very interesting. Let's see. Poke that in, poke that in. And the fronts. No way. It's way too high. But as far as a test fit goes, that's on there. That is on there. All 4 of the shocks are maxed out. That is so much weight. Obviously, hood and trunk are popped open, but that is pretty much on there. Because of that little play in those back pins, it moves around a lot. Oh man, this is... I did not think we'd be getting this far. I did not think this was gonna work. I just wanted to try it and see what happened. Guys, if we hot glue that down and throw a battery in there, we might be able to test this out. Try and keep this as clean as possible. Give those a minute to dry. I think we've got ourselves a testable unit here. I do want to do one more thing. Oh, that would have been bad. These springs, I know I put in here because they were really, really loose. I was trying to give this a little bit more flex. Didn't work, but I'm wondering if I pop all these shocks off and we take some heavier duty or even double up, if we can actually get some suspension on this thing. Okay. I'm just going to take the bottom off here. And try not to launch this across the room. Let's see. Oh yeah, these are very, very light. Get that locked on there. Oh, that's got some heft to it. There's definitely a little bit of binding. It's not supposed to be like that, but for what we're doing today, nothing's gonna be perfect. Oh yeah. There's not much give there at all. So we need the front to go through and the back to click in like that. That went so much better than expected. We can drop the trunk. It's still very, very high, but realistically, we're gonna want it probably about an inch and a half lower than that. But for right now, I can see the vision. It is a hilarious vision, but I think at this point it might be a running and driving vision. Where is the switch? Oh gosh. Tons of clearance on the front angle there. Oh, this is just hilarious. This is hilarious. Oh, let's go ahead and take it outside and see how it performs. I can't see it going great. The body could fall off at any moment, but overall, we've got an idea of what we're looking for. And it is definitely misaligned in the front by quite a bit. And you can see why it can't fit between these two pins. So I could fix this by just taking the hood off real quick. And that just comes out. Okay. So now we can really line this up front and center. Oh man. Oh man, that actually lowered it down a bit too. It looks like an egg, a bug. Something is wrong with this. It does not look right from the top angle. It does not look right from the side angle. You know, this is ridiculous. Let's go ahead and take this thing outside. It does have a little bit of spring to the suspension. Honestly, that actually improved the amount of flex that this chassis has. Alright, we're heading outside. It somehow looks even more ridiculous out here. Let's see if it can actually go up anything. That's a solid negative. Instantly is wanting to flip back on itself. So that's something we're definitely gonna have to work towards, is fixing weight distribution. Instantly wants to come up. That's a bummer, and I had a feeling just because of how hefty this top is. Is there any way I can get it to go up this without going backwards? Oh no. Oh no. All that work just to see that the body is way too heavy. And I don't think there's any way to get around this. If I took the doors off, all the plastic off, every last screw off, it would still probably weigh just about the same as this entire base. Bummer. Well, there you have it. If you're trying to put a Midnight Club Dub Edition body on top of your SCX-24, the answer is it's probably too heavy. But it looks pretty funny. Get a couple shots for the road. Yeah. And being that this is an absolutely beautiful body that now has its first scratches on it, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. It still looks good from this side, and I can still put it together as a model, but I don't think this is gonna work in any way, shape, or form. The thought was there, we tried, and we learned a lot about mounting with what you have. If anybody needs to throw a body on top that has a ton of room in it, using a secondary chassis was a pretty easy and quick solution. Thank you all so very much for showing up to watch another one. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon.